And more breaking news coming in of buses that are on their way to pick up students in Sumy. Now, the Indian Embassy on the 6th of March had a team stationed in nearby Poltawa to coordinate with safe passengers of nearly 700 Indian students who were stranded in Sumy. And over the weekend, the MEA had also pressed both sides for a temporary ceasefire to evacuate students. Now, as all eyes are on the third round of talks and whether that yields any results, we are getting you these pictures of how buses are on their way to pick up students in Sumy. Patikrit Pain is joining us on the broadcast. Patikrit, all these developments extremely important, and we have to put this into context because at one end, yes, Operation Ganga going on in full swing and many of those students who have come back. On the other end, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's intervention, third round of talks to take place, but not much change seen on the ground despite ceasefire that and restraint that is to be exercised.
Well, first of all, the entire Operation Ganga is a huge, major success of India, and we have a very profound standard operating procedure and a security architecture in terms of evacuation. But having said that, when any kind of evacuation, when you do in a war-torn area, it's always a very, very complex thing. In spite of the best of the intentions, you don't get the defined results as quickly as you would have expected. But in spite of all the challenges, the manner in which the evacuation has happened, the manner in which the Prime Minister intervened and actually talked to the Russian president and made sure that there are ceasefires done for humanitarian purposes so that the evacuations can be done itself is a reflection of the kind of diplomatic stature that India has today. And let me tell you, I think Prime Minister Modi is perhaps one of the very few leaders in the world today to whom President Putin listens. And so this entire thing, while the war is it's a terrible thing. I mean, the visuals that you're showing are terrible. But of course, for India, the priority had been, and there's no denial of that, our priority had to be evacuation of Indians from that place. In spite of these things, apart from these things, what the government of India also is trying to do is to make sure that, the Russians and the Ukrainians talk. I don't know how that would actually end up as to whether there would be a complete ceasefire or not, although there are small pockets of ceasefires that are being announced for humanitarian purposes. But this war, as it's going, it is highly unlikely that there will be any end to this war anytime soon, unless some of the major conditions that Russia has put, including a treaty of neutrality for Ukraine, and for Ukraine too.
I'm sorry, I'll have to interrupt you there. Thanks for giving us all those insights. So as we continue to get you all the latest updates, the latest that we're learning is that the evacuation has begun in Ukraine, as the evacuation corridor will now be facilitated as a part of what Russia has agreed to after Putin spoke to Macron, and that is when he said that there's going to be ceasefire, temporary ceasefire that has been declared in 4 cities. And in fact, we've also accessed visuals as well where buses are en route to take the students, Indian students, back to India.